everyone, again a test with the alcohol inks to create a nice lace effect. This time I changed the ratio of the pigment paste drops to the resin. So at the moment I'm showing you the temperature of the resin, but later I will show you again, then you can see the difference. So at the moment it's 24 degrees, a little bit more. Yeah, I want to do some more tests. So this test only a change in the ratio of the pigment drops. I'm going to add more pigment drops to the resin to see, yeah, if that changes the lacing. So again, I'm going to add 15 gram of resin into my paper cup. There you can see it. So at the moment, the resin temperature is 24.2. And I'm very curious if that will affect the lacing. Or maybe I get different effects, I don't know. And I'm going to use the same pigment paste, my own Moonlight White pigment paste. You can find this pigment paste in my Etsy shop with also other colors. The link to my Etsy shop is in the description below this video. So now I'm going to add 10 drops. In my previous test with the alcohol ink, I added 8 drops, but now I'm going to add 10 drops. I'm mixing it in with the resin. And it's really opaque, so that's what we want. There you can see it. And there you can see the temperature before I pour it into the mold. It's a little bit more than 26 degrees. So that's good because my previous test, the resin temperature was also 26 degrees. So only a change in the pigment drop. Hopefully you don't hear my French bulldog. He's very noisy. Pouring it against the edge of the silicone mold. I'm using the same silicone mold. It's a silicone mold from Molds and Shapes. It's the Geode tray mold of 20 centimeters. The link to their website is also in the description. And also my promo code for their website. If you use my promo code JustPaint10, then you will get 10% discount. So that's nice. And I'm not done testing this lace effect. I want to test other colors. Now I've only used white, but maybe I will change the color in a pink or blue to see if I can create the same effect as I have in my other tests. And what I already mentioned in my previous video, I want to also try this in a larger mold. Now I'm going to pour the clear into the center. Something in my mold, so I need to remove it. I always pour first in the center and then I pour it to the outside. And this way the clear resin pushes the white against the edge of the silicone mold and then it can flow on top of the clear resin. And it already flows a little bit to the center, white. Looks promising. So the first color I'm using is from Ranger, and it's called Flamingo. Against the edge of the white, maybe sometimes also in it. There you can see it. Very nice color. The second color I'm using is also from Ranger, and it's called Amethyst. In between the two flamingo drops and another color, so I'm using three colors. This is the currant. That's for the center. And this is the mixture I'm going to use for the center. I'm using three different materials. Very nice, very sparkly. The first one is one of my own mirror sand glitters. It's called Golden Glow. You can find it in my Etsy shop. The second one is a metallic rust glass in bright silver, also in my Etsy shop. And I'm also going to use a super short glitter in the color violet. Very nice. It changes a lot, as you can see. And I'm already getting the same effects in the white as my previous test with the alcohol ink. So that looks promising. Yeah, I speeded this part of the video, then you can see how it changes. Very nice. So that looks nice. Now a close-up right after pouring. You can see the nice effects of the white with the lines that go from the outside to the inside. A very nice center. You can see already some color from the other side of the tray, so that's also nice. But yeah, do I get the same effect as my previous test with 8 drops of pigment paste? We need to wait for that for at least 24 hours. But first I'm going to show you a close-up after 1 hour of drying to see if it changed a lot. So we are 1 hour later and it changed. I got some nice effects in the white again, but similar than my previous test, so that is good. There you can see the lines that go from the outside to the inside. Very nice. And I'm also very pleased with my bubble remove machine because I don't have a lot of tiny air bubbles, because that's not nice. So we are 24 hours later. Now I'm going to take the Geode tray out of the mold to see yeah, if I have created the same effect as in my previous video. I'm also going to compare those two, then you can see the differences much better. But it goes very easy taking it out of the mold. And also, if I have that second ring, because I like that very much, I can already see a part of it. Yeah, but it's just a part. Yeah, no problem. I'm showing it you, but it looks nice. Now the other side. No, first a close up. Always a close up. There you can see it. And now the other side. Yeah, it's nice. It looks not totally the same as the other one. I will show you that in a minute. I still have the nice dots, the lacing. Very nice bright colors. I love the center. Yeah, it's still a little bit bendy, so I need to be careful. So now I'm going to compare them. So on the right side was my first test. You can see a lot more of those white dots. I only added 8 drops of white pigment paste, and the rest is the same with the test I just did. So you would think if you add more white pigment paste that you will get more white dots, but it's the other way around. Still very pretty. Let me know what you think of this test. And maybe you have a suggestion for my next test. This is the end result. Already I've shown you part of the second ring. I like that very much, but yeah, a little bit of a shame that it doesn't go all the way around. But I also want to explain what I think is lacing, because I think there is some discussion or misunderstanding what lacing is. In my opinion, lacing are those white dots and not the lines that go from the outside to the inside. Yeah, people can call it what they want, but I call the lacing, if I talk about lacing, then I talk about those white dots you see around the center. So not on the outside, but around the center. For me, that is lacing and not the lines that go from the outside to the inside. I think that is called web effect or whatever. But yeah, so I don't want to participate in that discussion or misunderstanding or whatever it is. I'm just saying if I talk about lacing, then I talk about the white dots. So let me know what you think of my test and my geode tray. And in the comments below this video, all the links to the website are also in the description. I want to thank you all for watching again, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!